Hey, love buzz, Roslynn, back at you one more again. I hope everybody's doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. As always, thank you so much for the love and support. It's always appreciated. And with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light. Many blessings are definitely coming your way. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you. Welcome. So good to have you. If you're comfortable enough, I'd love for you to drop me a line or two. I would love a chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're up telling me about your empathic gift. And if you feel like the video is uplifting, gives you good vibes that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through trying times and just needs spiritual guidance or confirmation, validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. While you edit, give it a thumbs up, like, and also share social media favorites wherever you see fit. As always, thank you so much for the love and support, and I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. The video I'm doing right now is called three key things that can feel unbearable through the cycles of healing. And I was coming across this situation, and I know I've been going through a lot of my healing. That stuff is not easy. You will know if you are allowing yourself to approach it, you're going to have so many different emotions. You're going to have that depression moment that makes you feel like nothing you're doing is right. Or there's different things. It just seems like as soon as you come clear, here comes some more drama. Here comes some more issues. You're struggling some kind of way, either through letting things go, healing from trauma, burdens that you have, sadness that has went different, or you're parting ways with a lot of different people. It's just going through a change. And I was going, it just so happened, universal bring things along your path just to show you. And I was just like, wow, there's a lot of different things that I can relate to the certain things it was. And I'll make sure I screenshotted it. And I was just like, yeah, I've gone through a lot of these different things, or there's certain things I haven't approached yet, but it's just through all the issues due to time of change. Number one, you already know it's not easy. It's not for the weak at heart. A lot of times it may feel like things are not changing for the better of us, or there are certain things that we have been, doing mantras, affirmation, doing all the little rituals to make sure blessings come your way. The universe always tells you they have things in store for you, but they're always wanting you to make the change shift for you to be open to it. Because they always say they got something more for you. And sometimes more or less, it's a lot more than what you expected. And it's usually more, because sometimes that we make choices and we get aggravated if we don't get what we want at that time, or we really felt we put in the work for that. And a lot of times you have to understand, and I have to remind myself as well, even when you're going through that initial change, sometimes universe and God and all your spiritual enforcements feel like we make the small decisions, or we see things in a small sense, a vibration of wanting that change or wanting that abundance, prosperity, blessings, whatever. And they want to give so much more than that, because they seen how bad you suffered. They seen how hard the enemy did everything they possibly could just to make sure that you didn't get those things. There'll be different times where, you constantly it felt like, the rug is being lifted up under you. And those are the things they want to understand. They're about to give you compensation for everything that you're going through, because it's like when you have been that person that was chosen to break these generational crises and cycles and curses and all that different stuff, things ain't gonna come easy for us whatsoever. It make you feel like you were in the Tower of Doom, any kind of way. But these are the three things I made sure that I put down. Okay, it's like number one, you'll start focusing on the external. You'll stop focusing on the external things and people, and turn the focus inwards, and it'll be uncomfortable as AF. It is true, because there's a lot of times that it could be things we see on social media, or we see different reality shows where people, it seems like they got everything, or you just really want to align with those certain things in life. There's a lot of times there's certain people, and I'm not saying that in general on spotlighting different people have their ways of getting to where they're at. Sometimes it's hard work, sometimes it's manipulation, or it can be, controversy or anything like that to be known out there into the world. There are certain people that, it's in the family and it was just passed on to them, for silver spoon in their mouth. There's a lot of people that have to work hard for that. But there are some people that are at the elite and the high status folks to where, they want their children to make a mark in the world, but they also want them to earn it because they send different people where you're just giving it to them, and it's just like people are automatically seeing that that's going to pass down to them, so they don't have to really work hard for nothing. But there's some families that even though they're up there, they make sure that their children are not going to take advantage of that and not allow themselves to put all in it to where they can earn that, so they can have their I forgot what word I want to say, integrity or anything else, to make sure that they don't catch it slipping. They always want them to be investing in more with that. Don't ever get comfortable being at one way. So it's just like anything that is going to make you initially happy, it has to come from within. A lot of times, if I won the lottery, you'll be seeing certain people like, hey, they won $10 billion and this and this and that. And you're always worrying about that. But it's just like when we leave this world, you're not going to be able to take that stuff with you. There's a lot of people, and, and they were like, take it from personal, I'll struggle, but I'm okay. It's not going to always be that way. There's always a time and change. It's just you applying yourself for that. And universe is, you'll feel some type of way. But there's a lot of times they say money don't make you happiness. There's some people out here that got most money in the world and still miserable. I said, well, let me be miserable with my money. At least I can say my bills being getting paid and I can be miserable as hell. And still be able to get my stuff paid. Ain't got to worry about nothing. I can live comfortable. But they're telling you, money is not going to make you happy. Being in a relationship is not going to make you happy. Being married and, just be able to say you're married is not going to make you happy. There's a lot of people, I've seen different folks that are, different folks with different strokes where they stayed in marriages, because they had that good life. They were able to, they had the luxurious choices and be miserable. Or some people, they'll see that their companion are doing what they want to do because they're the breadwinner, and they stay there because they don't want to give up that lifestyle. And nobody shouldn't live like that. But there's a lot of people that choose to do that, and hey, it is what it is. If that's their choice, it is what it is. But whatever it is, they always tell you, don't look for outside sources to complete you. Everything, you have to find out what makes you happy within yourself. You want to be in a marriage that is whatever you're pushing out, that's in a positive and encouraging or motivated, anything that's positive that's coming in your life. They want you to be able to find that equal within yourself. Like if you place all that love into yourself unconditionally, even with your flaws and all, you love yourself. Whatever it is that is like, like if you don't gain weight and different things or like that, or you feel like you're too skinny and you want to be able to pick up some weight, do what you can do in a healthy way, is to go ahead and invest in that to improve yourself. Even if there are certain things, I know a lot of people go through body dysmorphia, or they go through drastic changes to make, allow themselves to please other people. And number one, you have to understand, you can't please everybody. There's going to be certain people that's just not going to like you, and you have to be okay with that. There's a lot of times people are not going to understand your journey. Shoot, there's sometimes you don't even understand your journey, but that's okay. But whatever you're looking for, it has to come from inside. If you want that peace, you have to create that peace in your life. If you want somebody to love you and, see you as your worth and don't make you sacrifice that, you have to be able to apply that towards yourself. Because a lot of times, I even said, I've been a criminal, a victim of that. I've been a culprit and a victim of that, where I allow anybody to stay in my life, whether it was disrespectful or it was honorable, because I felt like if I didn't have these people, I was nothing. And I got my validation from external people. Now it was like, before, because I never liked being alone. I always used to go to the clubs and, was there from Thursday all the way until Saturday, still did what I had to do with my kids, make sure they were fed, make sure the homework was done. They were, took their baths, went to sleep, and I went straight out and hit the streets. But now it's that when I got older, I'm like, being around a lot of people don't really bother me. I just like being to myself. And it just seems like since I did that, I can't be around large groups. I'm like, how did I was able to do it before, but now I can't do it. And it's just like, I can't roll with everybody like that. I can't connect with anybody like that. I'm very selective. what I had to entertain is, I'm still learning, I'm still healing, and still trying to allow myself to see the best in everything in my life. And then when you're allowing yourself to say, you know what, I'm being open, being honest with myself, and being very transparent, not just with people that I deal with because of my platform, but just being honest with myself. Whatever was a sore, a sensitive subject for me yesterday, I want to work hard on making that sit up here and see that was my weakness, but they came along with my greatest strength. And when you're allowing yourself to do that, you're going to be allowing yourself to do that. And that's when you're going to know that, you taking that situation of uncomfortability to make yourself solid. Because whatever you're working on, it's not going to come overnight. I was like, let me just speed this up. And you can't do that. Everything has to take time. Through you healing, through you loving yourself, with you allowing yourself to have patience in whatever is unfolding into you. Trust the process. Don't force outcomes. Don't try to control anything. Allow things to unfold the way they're supposed to, in the way God sees fit, the way universe sees fit. Number 2, you are no longer feeling the need to control, like I was just saying, control or manipulate other people's behavior. You understand that your needs for control is a reflection of your own insecurities. The secure women are unbothered, and so are the men. And that's true. A lot of times I used to be doing certain things. It's like, oh, I don't want this to happen. I don't know what that, but you have to understand. The only thing you can control is how you move into your life, how you choose to grow, what you choose to heal from, what you choose to accept, what you choose to no longer accept. The direction you're going. Are you going all in on being positive, seeing everything and observing that, and take that middle note and still going on, and allow yourself to appreciate it, whether or not it's projecting to you negative or positive? Is still a life lesson. They always tell you, no matter what is going on in your life, negative or positive, is still a lesson. I know there's a lot of people that I've been connected with that are going through DV, domestic, ventures, and put it that way. You got to be in YouTube. You got to be very selective about the words you choose to use, and those can be very harmful. Especially if it comes to where it's getting physical and volatile. It's like every time I turn around, especially, I guess since I purged a lot, there's a lot of things that I can't allow myself to watch. I get upset, I get in my feelings, I start getting judgmental, and I'm like, God, forgive me for being that way. Especially about the situation with Gary. Not Gary, but Gabby P. I can't pronounce her last name. And I was telling a friend the other day, I said, I have a gut feeling they're going to find that dude. I try to make it, clear. They're going to find that dude, but I don't think he's going to be living. And I said that within the 24-hour period before it started coming out, that all of a sudden they found him and he's not alive. But I'm just hoping and praying, please keep those family in the prayers, that they give it, they get answers, because it's like it. I don't want to imagine what that is about, because if you're a parent, that already going to hit home for you, because I feel like no parent should ever have to bury their children. This is something that you're supposed to grow old, and your children are supposed to take care of you after you took care of them, and then it's supposed to be your transition of life for you. They outlive you. But a lot of things on these circumstances where people getting popped left and right nowadays. And it's just like, I don't know what's going on. I can't question it, but just stay in prayers for anybody who's affected by those different things in the world. But I hope and pray Gabby's family find out, things, they said they found different information and stuff, his belongings. So I'm hoping and praying they find out the reason what happened behind that situation with Gabby and him. But but there's a lot of you can't control people's actions. You can control yours. A lot of things will come in the world, like I was saying in chat earlier. Universe will put things in your way. They know your weaknesses a lot of times, your toxic connections as well as your enemies. They study you, and they study you very well. And they know what weaknesses they are. It's just like anybody who knows what a pet peeve is and enough to pull you out of your element, they're going to keep doing it. Anything you get pissed off about and they see that, like, oh, they're going to keep doing it. So you have to allow yourself, because universe is trying to put you in a situation where you're not allowing yourself to be moved by your old toxic beliefs, your patterns, your habits, or anything. They're wanting you to break that cycle. So a lot of things is being presented to you just to see if you're going to still address it like you used to. But instead of you absorbing and reacting to it. They want you to be able to respond if you choose to respond. I always tell people, no response is still a response. You don't have to respond to everything that you see. Everything that somebody's doing to you, to gaslight you, to trigger you, you don't have to, you can just walk away. You know, they always tell you, if you're going to move your frequency, let it be higher, never be lower. Don't dilute yourself. Don't you sit up here. If somebody want to do, want to trigger you, trying to poke, just trying to pull you out of your peace. People enjoy doing that. It's sad, but people do that. And there's sometimes I don't fail for the okie doke. I don't allow, especially if you don't go through it enough, you're like, look, I'm getting tired, and tired is overtired. And me and you gonna have it, and you'll make me catch a case. Now it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to step out the way and get out my own way and stay focused on something that's going to grow me, not keep me drained, not drain me, allow me to go through a repetitive act. Because sometimes you have to understand, you have to expect the unexpected. And a lot of times it's pretty predictable when it comes to certain things like that, especially if you're healing from toxic cycles and karmic cycles. Karmic cycles is the worst. But these are the ones that are like blessings dipped in the skies, because it'll get to a point where you can finally turn around and look and say, you know what? All those things that used to trigger me, piss me off, maybe want to catch a case, maybe want to lay hands, make somebody want to catch a shade in a half. It's like, shoot, if violence was a person, or, just want to sweep doo-doo, whatever, you're going to look at that time. It's like, you know what? Now I allowed myself to be my own mute. You can be a muse all day, but a lot of times you got to be your own mute and just allow yourself to just look at things. Like, mental note, you gonna laugh at it? No. Are you gonna allow that person to pull you out your enemy? No. You allow yourself to keep moving forward and allow yourself to invest in something that's positive to go and take you to that next level? Yes. And allow myself to keep moving. Even when you're right about certain things, or you want to call somebody out on it, they already know what they were doing. Whether or not they try to act like they're going to gaslight you or try to do something, act like it's all on you, allow them to think that. But let that mental note and just keep it moving. Keep doing that. And that's allowing yourself to know you ain't got to entertain that. A lot of times, people like that, if I'm not getting their attention, they'll stop. But there's a lot of times people are just dead set on just like, no. They can't, no. They don't want you to move on. A lot of times, I know I put a video out, a little short, and that mess hit deep. It's not the fact that people scared to lose you. The worst thing they do is scared to see you move on, and a lot of people don't like that. But this is not, their decision to do that. You stayed in a certain sequence for a long time. They learned off of you. You learned off of them. Hopefully that person will move when you move. But just doing it in a positive way for both of you. But there's some people that don't, and that's the choice they choose to make. On to the next one. 3 is that as you peel back the layers of your protective self, you tend to learn how to sit with yourself. Yeah, a lot of times, I've heard different people like, I go on my vacation by myself. I go out to eat by myself. I can go to the movies by myself. Now, certain things like that I just didn't do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just me. I don't like being around a large group of different things. I love to, I've had chances where I went out on dates and, we used to go out to eat and, different things like that. But I'm more of that person. Like, I like to cook at home, with all this COVID and stuff like that. I know my food right when I cook it. I know different things are clean when I clean it. But I've gotten to that point since I've been on my spiritual growth. It's good to be able to go out every once in a while or whatever. But, I also like to be at home too. But, if I ever get that chance to be able to venture out on certain places, I want to go ahead and do that. But right now, I'm allowing myself to just work on me. I stay to myself. People are like, some of my friends be joking like, you like stay. I'm like, yeah, I don't submit to nobody. Except myself. I've been celibate for almost a little bit over 5 years now. And I love it that way. And people are like, you're doing it on purpose? Yes. There's so many different things out in the world they ain't got no names for. And a lot of times it's just the energy that somebody carries. It can be as bad as catching something, whether or not you can get rid of it or not. That you got to be very selective about that, and those are a lot of things that, you have to be able to work on within yourself. But when you allow yourself to be able to sit with yourself, that gives you that full, opportunity to stay focused on it. Because a lot of times universe will move you into solitude, isolation, especially when this pandemic started, when they went through the quarantine, the lockdown, people that were all out and used to being around quantities of people and want to be everywhere. All of a sudden, introverts like, shoot, this is an everyday basis for me. I ain't mad. And people like that, and it's funny when an external, with the what they call it, extroverts. I think that's what they call it. Extroverts or people that are just starting to get into that, a lot of times we used to deal with it because I was a habit of doing that too. When I went to work, even though I was still having my issues, I used to tend to push that aside and deal with what I deal at work, so I ain't got to deal with that. But that's when universe saying you need to get with your children, you need to get with your family, your partner, whatever you got going on, and deal with whatever y'all need to deal with, whatever y'all need to heal from, whatever you need to understand, because that showed you are in that situation where you had to be around them 24/7 like that. That was like, am I wanting to be with this person for the rest of my life? Is this a person I see myself wanting to wake up to, deal with, lay next to, and all that stuff? And some of them folks like, I've been around you too much. You need to go somewhere. Especially, I said, I'm so glad all my children are grown. People just probably pulling their hair out dealing with their kids every day. And I was just like, Dad, why didn't I have this when I was going to school? Whatever. But it was just the fact is that was like a natural routine for me. After I went through my spiritual awakening, I went through a major shift, because it was like if people knew me, I was always the party chick, going out back in the day. Since I moved down in the South, I probably couldn't say I went out like, on one hand. When I was up in the Midwest, I used to party hard, like it was 1999 every day. But now it's just like I ain't got to worry about getting my nails done. I got to get my hair done. I got to find an outfit or worry about what I'm going to drink. I can do all that at home, because number one, I don't smoke, devil's lettuce anymore. I don't drink. The only thing I was still struggling with on and off is cigarettes, and I really don't have a taste for those either. So it's just like I don't want to worry about having a outfit, or somebody start cutting a fool and want to act up in the club, and then next bullets and fights and hands start throwing, molly whopping and junk. I'm good. I can stay at home, listen to my music at home. I can play as loud as I want and got to worry about stepping on me or feeling claustrophobic. I'm at home in my peace. But you're going through different things, and you're going to start looking at your life in a totally different way. When you start shifting, you'll start seeing things. You're like, what, this was a better, change for me. This is a better direction for me. Because I was that type of person. I always call it the K. Michelle syndrome. I say I love a lot of K. Michelle's music. I don't deal with all the choices. I don't condone all that, but I say it is what it is. I love her as an entertainer. A lot of her songs I can get with, but she was always that type of person that she got a voice on her and everything, but it was just that person, how she said she used to date somebody, and when she break up with that one, she'll jump into another relationship to get over the last one. And I say I recommend anybody don't do that. I did that. And a lot of times, my friends used to come to me and were like, Roslynn, I'm going through this. I started dating this person. I thought I really liked him and I vibed with him. But the next, I started dealing with the same thing I was dealing with in my marriage, or, in my old relationship. And the first thing I asked, how long did you break before you started dating that one with the next one? Oh, it was only a few weeks. That was your problem. I said that was your problem, because I used to jump in stuff before I end up, really finding out who that person was, and it was just like, you have to be with yourself. I always tell them, even my girls, that when you get out of a relationship, be to yourself. Focus on yourself. I said, when you're jumping into a relationship, if your ex done got with somebody, they ain't got nothing to do with you. You worry about what you're doing. If y'all was meant to do that, y'all would have worked something out and y'all would have still been there. But if it wasn't what God had for you, this is where he's preparing you for that, and those are the things you had to go through. It's like anything that has changed your life in a big significance, whether it was positive or negative, negative, let me put it that way. It always have a grief period. It's just like, transitioning, passing away. Things are coming to an end to start a new beginning. And those are the things you got to see what you're going to cater to, what you're not going to accept, what you're not going to tolerate, what you are going to tolerate. What are you willing to sacrifice? What do you have to bring to the table? What you have no problem with eating alone? Different things. I had to learn from a lot of the things that I went through. It's like not all my relationships were toxic, but all of them weren't so complicated either. but I still treat all of them as just like it showed me certain things about myself that I can't do. There are certain things I can't speak on. There's certain things I can't do when it feels like adventurous that you want to bring into a relationship can really come back and bite you in the butt later, and all those different things. So it's just like, I love the fact that I didn't jump into another relationship. I've done that. I did that a lot. And I always end up having the same situation happen over and over again because I didn't allow myself to heal from the last relationship. If you want something that's going to be lasting to you, if you like that one where, you like the friend with benefits, that's a very dangerous thing, especially with energy, especially with everything else that comes along in the world with you being, active like that. If you want to play Russian roulette with your life like that, hey, that is what it is. Then go ahead, have fun, and pray for you and make sure everything is okay. But you're going through these different changes. You have to allow yourself to let things go. There's a lot of times I didn't want to do things. I didn't want to venture out and go nowhere because I always try to control things in my environment, to make sure, certain things that happen with the next thing. But now it's just like, I'm okay with being by myself. If I allow myself to invest in that love in myself, and be honest and, and allowing myself to go through that change of correcting and, allowing myself to be accepting to change and, allowing myself to challenge my own self through my, my comfort zones of exiting that, to, meet that challenge, that's giving you that open wing to stay open to whatever you're looking for, and you getting into alignment, or whatever you're looking for is already looking for you when you get yourself into that alignment to be able to receive that. And those are the things they want you to be able to do. When you're going through your healing, it's going to feel unbearable because there's a lot of things you're facing that you are no longer ignoring, and you're not turning your back on. You're allowing yourself to be open to it and say, you know what? If I want peace in my life, if I want things that I know I deserve, if I know my worth, if I'm placing love into myself and not just allowing myself to be open to everybody. I want my life to not be complicated, but just being able to have a partner instead of somebody who sees me as competition or an opponent. They want to see me happy just like I want to see them happy. I can be able to be vulnerable with them. And, and they don't take me down the road of pain like I've experienced before. And I don't want to do that to them. But just being with somebody who wants to see me happy, wants to see me grow. If they see me slacking on myself, they're going to call me out and put me right back on there. But they're going to help me to do that, and be supportive. And those are the things you really, truly need to go through. Whatever you're facing right now, whatever you're struggling with right now, it's not going to always be that way, even though it may feel like it's going to be that way. But everything is temporary. They said life is short. If we allow ourselves to, we're going to miss a lot of blessings when we allow ourselves to stay focused on the mistakes. Allow yourself to get that, put that mental note, let it do what it do, and change the direction, what's better for you. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video, y'all. Let me go ahead and give a post notification shout out to, what is it? Lytton Kitten Project, much love to you and welcome to the fam. Annie you tripping, thank you for stopping by and welcome to the fam. Lauren G, much love to you. It's like Gorzika. I hope I pronounced that way. If I didn't, I apologize. Mighty Robs and Breezy, Be Easy, much love to you as well. And Lisa McDevitt. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please drop me a line. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. I'll leave all my contact information in the description box below. It's all about spiritual networking. If you need help, there's a lot of different people I help one-on-one that don't feel comfortable with, talking about the different things on here on the tube of views. So they always hit me up, one-on-one, I always let people know whatever we speak on is confidential. It's just, it's like spiritual change into your life, just to give you a deeper understanding about your spiritual purpose. There's a lot of times people share with me for their experience and ask me, is this natural? Is this normal? I try my best to be able to help that, whatever information I have from my experience or what I tend to receive to project towards other people, or I find the information online to just give you a deeper understanding about that. But I also leave my link of my podcast as well in the description box below. Is to my podcast. It's on Spotify and different other places where they do podcasts as well. whatever you're working on, I hope it comes, wherever you're trying to manifest into your life, I hope it comes so much bigger and better than you ever imagined, and it comes quicker than you ever received. Whatever you are facing right now or trying really hard to heal from, whatever is keeping, your mind, occupied and your heart's heavy, I hope it leads you towards something so much better. If you're going through a lot right now, don't give up. Keep going. Be consistent within yourself, because you never know what's going on behind closed doors. You never know what, God and universe got in store for you. So not everything is what it seems. And this is the weekend, so please be responsible and safe at whatever you do, even through social distancing. Make sure you give out love, light, positivity, words, vibes, frequencies. You never know. All those things should really take you a long way. And you'll see me on my next video. Much love. Peace.